Gerty Cori, A Life Story. Gerty Teresa Radnitz, born on August 15, 1896, in Prague, Czechia, was only 16 when she decided she wanted to study medicine. At the turn of the 20th century, women were rarely welcomed into medical schools, but Gerty Cori was determined to enter anyway. At 18, she attended medical school at the German University in Prague.
In this regard, we do see that Cori is a bit privileged, being supported by her uncle in math and science, and despite most medical schools being allowed to accept female students, most of the schooling for young women at that time did not give the necessary classes in order to be able to take the entrance exam. This being said, Cori dedicated herself to a year's worth of studying and was able to pass the entrance exam and enroll into medical school.
After medical school, Gerty found passion in medical research, and so, along with her husband Carl, whom she met in medical school, she moved to Vienna, where she earned her first research position as an assistant in the Carolinen Children's Hospital. Unfortunately, due to the ramifications of World War I, Gerty was on the receiving end of rising anti-Semitism in Austria. This prompted the Coris' move to the United States. After a brief stint in Buffalo, New York, both Coris found work at the Washington University in St. Louis, Missouri.
Despite both Coris having the exact same degree and extremely similar research experiences, Gerty was only offered a research associate's position. Now, Carl, he was immediately offered a professor position. And it wasn't until 16 years later, in 1947, that she becomes the first woman to win a Nobel Peace Prize in physiology or medicine, that the university finally assigns her a full-fledged position as a professor. Her success challenged gender discrimination, paving the way for future generations of women in scientific fields.
Together, the Coris collaborated on groundbreaking research that advanced scientific understanding of carbohydrate metabolism, which, up until that point, had stumped scientists. Cori discovered glucose-1-phosphate, an intermediate in glycogen breakdown, and discovered glycogen phosphorylase, an enzyme that breaks glycogen into glucose-1-phosphate. Gerty Cori also discovered the Cori cycle while studying how the body processes carbohydrates. Through these discoveries, the Coris determined how glucose is stored in the liver and muscles and later released into the bloodstream when needed.
Now, if you're an athlete, you perhaps heard of the Cori cycle, also known as the lactic acid cycle. In this cycle, we see lactate, a byproduct of the anaerobic metabolism, travel through the blood to the liver, then turn back into glucose. This glucose then travels through the blood to the muscles to be used again for energy. This process is very important because it keeps the body maintain muscle activity. And blood glucose levels when oxygen is limited, like for example in high energy movements such as short sprints.
Gerty's discovery ultimately led to her winning the Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine. This landmark event marked a historical milestone in both academic achievement and the advancement of women in science, as Gerty Cori was the first woman to receive the award. Gerty Cori left a lasting legacy that transformed how we understand the human body's ability to produce and use energy. Her work laid the foundation that made many modern diabetes treatments possible. Despite the many challenges Gerty Cori faced, as a woman in STEM, her perseverance has demonstrated admirable courage that has paved the path for women in academia today. Throughout history, we have seen women be undervalued, underrepresented, and discredited numerous times in all fields of academia. Gerty Cori's established contributions to medicine and her earning the Nobel Peace Prize not only solidified her legacy in science, but also challenged the deep-rooted gender barriers of her time. Gerty Cori was undervalued throughout her career, even as a doctor and an established researcher, but she persevered and proved the importance of resilience and challenging stereotypes in the name of scientific advancement. In 1947, she became the first woman to receive the Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine, which marked a historic milestone for women in science. Beyond her scientific achievements, Gerty Cori's legacy represents perseverance, innovation, and lasting impact on both medicine and equality in scientific research.